Sup? This is Alex Chu. Coming at you with another episode. This episode, I haven't talked about this subject for a long time. Let's talk about narcissism for today. Sort of ran out of subject, trying to make a video once a week. Ran out of subject. What should I talk about? Talk about narcissism. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you, my name is Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small fingers during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. Today is, August 17th? Yeah. In 6 months, I'll be 50 years old. I still look pretty good, right? See how slim I am? You can tell I don't work out. My belly is really, really smooth. I don't have one of those six-pack abs. Older men, they have to do sit-up or push-up or something, in order to burn off all the fat. But you saw my belly. I never do any push-up or sit-up. But I'm so thin. I'm almost 50. Anyway, if you want to look like me when you're 50, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Go buy a pair of these rings. I ran out of subject to talk about. So I was watching porn, incest porn, like almost 3 weeks ago. But I quit. That shit is like, how much of that shit can you watch? I mean, I watched like 100 or 200 incest porn already, but quit that. I was playing video game. I still play video game every day. I don't know. Oh yeah, the second stimulus is coming. I hope. Nancy Pelosi just called everybody back from Congress. I mean, back to Congress, right? To sign this. To I don't know, vote about the post office. They saying that Trump is deliberately trying to stop people from sending in their vote, their ballots. But anyway, let's talk about narcissism today. This video is made for people who are narcissists. Okay, if you are a narcissist, I used to be a narcissist, so I know how you think. You understand? I used to be a narcissist, so I know exactly how you think. Narcissists, they have this childish mindset. It's like they constantly think that they are still in kindergarten or they are in elementary school. You know how in elementary school you have a best friend, and then you guys get into fights, right? Argument, fights, and then you threaten to cut tie, he threatened to cut tie, but then no, you guys miss each other. You guys like each other so much that there's nothing you can do to cut tie. Doesn't matter what kind of mistake you make. Doesn't matter what kind of disrespect your friend shows you. At the end, it's like you guys always hug and make up, right? A narcissist, they have this kind of mindset. They think that they are still children, But the problem is they're wrong, I'm not a child anymore. I'm almost 40-some year old. I don't have time for that bullshit. If you fuck up, you're gone. That's how I am. I don't care who the fuck you are. Okay? If you fuck up, if you dare to show me any disrespect, you're gone. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if you're my sibling. I don't give a fuck. If you dare to show me any disrespect, you're gone. I'll never talk to you again. That's the way how it is. That's the way how people are. But narcissists, they don't seem to understand that. People are busy now. Adults, I mean, after you pass 18-year old, okay, you enter the workforce. You have to make a living. You have to feed yourself. Everybody is busy. Nobody has time for your sorry ass. And a narcissist, they just don't seem to understand it. They live in a children's world. They think that, oh, I can insult you. I can fucking steal your money, insult you, steal your women, and make unreasonable demands. And at the end of the day, you still love me. You still will come back to me. You still cannot cut tie with me. Wrong. Wrong. That's how the narcissists think, but that's not the way how the world functions. So if you're a narcissist, you have to remember that. We're not kids anymore. the older people are, okay, the more impatient they become. So next time before you offend somebody, you have to look at them. You have to think about their age. The older they are, the more impatient they are. Let me give you like 4 or 5 examples. Okay, one example is how my third aunt's divorce uh, her ex-husband. Okay, her ex-husband, was a clear narcissist. He was very very stingy, a very very stingy man. I live with my third aunt for like half a year. So I know the ex-husband. He was very very stingy. He's a penny pincher. He counts every penny. And then, based on what I know, what would cause my aunt to divorce him is he's so stingy that one day, back in the days, okay, that was a long time ago. That was like what, 40 years ago or something. Uh, Everybody was using landlines, right? There's no cellular phone back in the days. Everybody just have landlines. And my uncle-in-law, okay, I mean her ex-husband, bought a little gadget, like a little device that you can put on the phone line, and count how many minutes that you talk on the phone, right? So okay, let me tell you this. My aunt worked in IBM, IBM, right? And she was earning pretty good money. She was a computer programmer. Actually, she earned more than my uncle-in-law. She earned more than her ex-husband, right? But then her ex-husband still like watch over her money, like, hey, this is a family, so your money is my money. I have to watch over the money that you spend. So one day, my aunt was talking to my grandmother. Okay, you know, her mom, right? I mean, yeah, my aunt was talking to her mom, right? And then she heard clicking noise, click, click, click. And then my aunt was like, "What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that click?" And then my aunt went to another room and saw that her ex-husband has installed a device that clicks. Like every minute it clicks, and then it's like it mechanically counts how many minutes a person used the phone. And then and she asked my uncle-in-law, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And then so he's saying that I'm counting how many minutes you're talking to your own mother. And that was the reason why she decided I'm gonna divorce this guy. And she filed a divorce because of this. Okay. Because I mean he just don't understand that you're showing the family tremendous amount of disrespect. Imagine daughter pick up a phone to call her own mother, right? This is her own mother now. Okay, she's spending her own money. By the way, she, just like what I said, she worked in IBM, sharing lots of money, sharing a lot more money than her ex-husband, right? So she's basically using her own money to talk to her own mother, right? And then this fucking asshole has to put a calculating device on the phone. Calculate how many minutes she can talk to her own mother. You know, Basically he's showing disrespect to the family. He's showing disrespect to her. Which is the one that brings home the bacon, and to her this is not tolerable. That's the reason why she filed for the divorce. And of course he regrets it, but it's too late, right? She already made up her mind. I'm filing for divorce. You understand? See, it's like a narcissist. They don't think of the consequences. When they do something, they don't think of the consequences. In their mind, it's that, oh, I can do whatever you want to you. I can do whatever you want to you. I can insult you. I can hurt your feelings, whatever. You love me so much that you will never cut tie with me. Wrong. Wrong. Especially older people, they're very impatient. Because you imagine you could do this to me, right? I'm talking to my own mother, and you put a little device to calculate every minute. You're showing disrespect to my own mother. You're showing disrespect to me. And I'm actually earning more money than you. And this is, in her mind, this is like, I cannot tolerate this. And yeah, that was the divorce. So Yeah, it's and another example. Okay, it's my friend. It's basically we used to go to the strip club every night. Okay, me and my friend we used to go to the strip club every night. And I know he's a narcissist. He's sort of stingy too, you know. But I didn't know he is this stingy. Okay, what happened is a girl contacted me, right? A girl came to live in my house. And I don't want to, you know, I'm the kind of person like, hey, you know what? I have a beautiful blonde. She's blonde. She's 25-year-old, sexy. You know, she's a stripper. And I know my friend. My friend really loves strippers. You know, and you know, strip clubs are very expensive. Every day you go in there, you spend $20, $40 for a lap dance. You don't get shit. You know, and now I have a girl living in my house, and so I call my friend, hey, yo, bro, hey, there's a stripper living in my house, man. You wanna come date her? You wanna come take her out? Go watch a movie or go to the walk, you know, go take her to the fishing wharf. She came from Seattle, you know. No, she came from Atlanta, Georgia. She has not seen San Francisco before. So I say, hey, yo, you wanna come take her out on your little sports car? And so he came, right? And he took her out, right? Went to San Francisco Fisher and Wharf, treated her dinner, stuff like that. I don't know what they did. Wax museum, whatever, right? So he brought her back home, like what 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't know. He brought her back home like 7 or 8 o'clock. Then he went back home, and then guess what? Somebody convinced her. Somebody convinced him, telling that, hey, Alex should pay for that date. You know, Alex tell you to come pick her up, and because that time I was sort of sick. I was sort of sick. I couldn't really. It's not convenient for me to take her out, right? I was sick, right? So somebody convinced this guy, saying, hey, because Alex was sick, and then you came to pick up this girl, and take this girl, gave her a tour around San Francisco. You spend like 100. He spent like $130 or whatever, and Alex should pay for it. And then somebody convinced him to think that way, and then he started to ask me for money. I'm like, what, bro? What are you talking about, man? It's a beautiful girl. It's a beautiful blonde chick. He loves beautiful blonde girls. And there's nothing wrong. She's a stripper too. She's a professional stripper. He spent like almost 8 hours with her, right? You didn't get laid. You didn't get to sleep with her, but that's not my fault. I mean, if you're lucky enough, she might sleep with you. She didn't sleep with you. It's not my fault, right? But you had a lot of fun. You took her out to Fisher and Wharf, Wax Museum, took her shopping. You know, I mean, in my mind, I did this guy a favor. I hook him up with a beautiful blonde stripper. He always wanted to date a stripper, right? So I did this guy a favor. But then in his mind, he thinks that I owe him money, that I should pay for the $130 he spent on this girl. And he kept on asking me for the money. Then I just say, fuck you. I cut tie with him. And then he regret. He apologized, but it's useless. You understand? It's worth. I'm not gonna accept his apology. I'm not going to mend our relationship. The reason is because if I'm a grown man, I don't have time. I'm not a child. I don't have time for this kind of bullshit. I was like 40-year-old that time. I don't have time for this, right? I mean, I set you up a date. You spent $130 on the stripper. Okay, you had a lot of fun. I mean, when you go to the strip club, that's like how much money you spend. How much money you spend, right? If you have so much fun with the stripper, right? I mean, you sit inside a VIP room, and it's gonna cost a lot of money. It's $130 in shit, and basically, I'm just telling you, this guy's a narcissist too. He just doesn't I mean, he in his mentality, he's like a child. You understand? He thinks that I would just cave in and pay him $130 and tolerate it. No, I don't tolerate it. I won't tolerate it. I cut tie with him. And ever since that incident, we don't talk anymore. It's been like more than 10 years already. I was a very good friend to him too. I was a very good friend. I was a very unconditional, dedicated friend. Very loyal, and I just couldn't believe he would do that. But another okay, another case is yeah, my own brother, right? He had a newborn son, right? He had a newborn son, but then at the banquet, right? I mean, he threw a banquet to celebrate 1 month old of his newborn son, right? I paid $200, but he never passed the son to me for a hug. For a hug, I'm just sitting there thinking, why is this? I mean, I know he did it on purpose. He did this deliberately. He passed the son to everybody for a hug. He failed to pass the son to me for a hug. I'm in the family. I am his son's only uncle. Okay, in the true family, I am his son's only uncle. I don't understand why he didn't pass the son to me for a hug. I don't get it. A few months later, I asked him on the phone, why did you do that? Why did you do that on purpose? And he argued with me. And I say, hey, listen, I want you to apologize to me. I want you to pass the son to me for a hug. And he refused. He won't pass the son to me for a hug. I'm sorry, I have to cut tie with him. I cut tie with him on the spot, And then later on, of course, he regrets, he apologized, but it's too late. The reason is because basically he's telling me that you're not good enough to approach my son. He thinks I am so inferior. He thinks that I am the weak link of the family. He thinks I am inferior. You know, like how some family, like, oh, my brother's gay, or my sister's gay, or somebody has some sort of problem, and this person is inferior, and I don't want my son to come near this person. He's doing that to me. He's like, you're inferior. I don't know. You sleep with sex dolls, whatever the reason. Okay, I don't want my son to come near you. But to me, I cannot tolerate it. You know why? Because I'm not a child. When he's telling me that his son I'm not good enough to come near his son, my only concern, I don't even like kids, okay? First of all, I don't like kids that much. My only concern is, okay, what should I do during the family dinner? I mean, sorry, there's some hair on my nose. I'm thinking, what should I do during the family dinner, right? Let's say if we have a family dinner, there's a family gathering, right? So back in the days, I always sit beside my brother. So from now on, what should I do? Because you have you have your son sitting right beside you, and you're telling me that I'm not good enough to approach your son. I'm not good enough to come near your son. So what should I do? Should I sit at another table? Can I sit at the same table with you? Because I like to sit at that table, because all my cousins are there. All my cousins are there, My siblings are there, all my cousins are there. I want to sit at that table. But then now he's creating this problem, because he's telling me that I'm not good enough to come near his child, My main concern is, okay, from now on, if there's a family gathering, should I remain 6 feet away from your son, or what's going on? Or like I have to social distance from your son, Like, can I sit at the same table with you, Or should I sit like all the way across the room, If there's like 2 or 3 tables, I have to sit at, like all the way away from your son. What should I do? Nobody gives a shit about his son. Nobody gives a shit about his stupid kid, I'm just thinking, where should I sit after this, And then, but then he doesn't get the hint, To me, this is serious, He's telling me I'm not good enough to come near his son. This is serious. This is serious insult to me, So I decided, you know what? I finally I email him. I cut tie with you. That's it. Cause I don't want to worry about that shit. I'm 40 some year old. I'm not young anymore. I don't want to, every time we go to the family dinner, oh, should I come near his son? Or where should I sit? Should I sit at the same table as this guy? Or, I don't want to worry about that shit. So I rather I email him. I said, I cut tie with you. That's it. From now on, I'm not going to meet you anymore. Your son will never ever see me again. Okay. So if people invite you, I will call to make sure that you are. If somebody invite you, I simply don't show up. If you're not invited, then I'll show up. Guess what? The whole family sided with me, except my sister and my stepmother. They side with my brother. So all three of them got banned. My aunts, my uncle, they all side with me. So right now, it's like when there's a family, there's like 2 families now. One family is my brother, my sister, and the stepmother, right? The other side of the family, I don't know, 20-some people. It's me and my aunts, my cousins, my uncles, So we will never ever see my brother, my sister, and my stepmother ever again, he doesn't seem to realize. And I don't know, in my brother's mind, it's like, he's just a child. Like, say something disrespectful, if you say something that insult people, oh, they will always, they miss you so much, they will always forgive you. You know, they can never cut tie with you. This, no, it's wrong. This is I was 40 some year old, not a child anymore. I don't have time for that shit. You know, my main concern is if you persist, okay, if that's the way how you think I'm not good enough to come near your child. My main concern is during the family dinner, where can I sit? You know, should I sit at the other table? But I want to sit with my cousins, but you want to sit with your cousin, and your child is right beside you. So my main concern is I don't want to come anywhere near your child because you say I'm not good enough to come near your child. You know, that was my main concern. So at the end, I realized the best thing to do is just cut tie. Just get rid of these people, you know? I don't want to see this motherfucker ever again. Because I don't want to worry about where I sit during the family dinner, you know? See, he doesn't seem to understand that, you know? Yeah, but anyway, there's 3 examples. Okay, maybe I should add one more. Hmm. Oh, I don't know. I think it's good. Oh, maybe I should add one more. Uh, my stepmother, right? I think she is also a narcissist. You know, I see. After I cut tie with my brother, right? My stepmother's. One day I asked my stepmother, "Hey, how's my sister doing in New York? You know, how's my sister Emily doing in New York?" And then suddenly she said, "Hey," she hold out her hand. She said, "Hey, you know, your sister's welfare is none of your business, okay? You know, your sister, hey, we had an agreement, okay? Your sister's welfare is none of your business." She actually said that to me. She said all that money you gave her, about 1,800 some, $18,000. You know, all that money you gave her for her college tuition, that's to help your dad. That has nothing to do with your sister, okay? Your sister has absolutely nothing to do with you, okay? She doesn't owe you anything. Basically, tell me to fuck off. Don't ever talk about my sister again. See, my stepmother is the mother of my sister. You know, my sister is my half sister, right? We have the same father, but different mothers, right? Basically, I think my sister is siding with my brother, right? When I cut tie with my brother, my sister decided she wants to support my younger brother, right? So she cut tie with me. But then when my stepmother says something like, "Hey, you know, your sister is none of your concern, okay? That money you gave your sister, that's nothing. It means nothing. You're helping your dad, okay? From now on, hey, we had an agreement, okay? She doesn't owe you anything." When she said that, right? She said that to me. I don't know, should I laugh or cry? I don't know. But and then I told my uncle, I told my aunts, and then they decided to cut tie with her. At first, nobody blames her, but then when she said stuff like that, my uncle, my aunts, they heard it and they got sick of it. You know, it's like it's sickening. What she said is sickening. So they told my father, yeah, that your wife is not allowed to the family dinner anymore. Your wife cannot come. So cut tie with them. So basically, my brother, my stepmother, my sister, they all got banned. You know, you could imagine. I mean, I gave my sister so much money for her college tuition, right? About $18,000. Sometimes she says she can't pay rent. I have to PayPal her money and stuff like that. You know, I never did. I never asked her for any favors. I mean, she never did me any favors. She never gave me anything before. You know, never hit her. I never hit her before. Never touched her before. Just suddenly somebody says, see, that's another form of narcissism. You know, in my stepmother's mind, you know, she's a pretty woman. She's a pretty girl. You know, I mean, I admit, you know, when she first came to America, when I first saw her, she was only 30. I was only 15. I had a crush on her. I think she was so beautiful. I wish this is my wife. I think that's the reason why she thinks that she has the right to say anything she wants to me. You know, like I wouldn't get offended. Oh, because I'm so pretty, I could say this to you. So she said it. You know, she underestimated people. You understand? But she says something so offensive, so insultful, and I think she underestimated me. She underestimated the reaction of our family. You know, when she said that, the whole family cut tie with her. You could imagine. I mean, somebody gave you $18,000. Somebody gave your daughter $18,000, And all I did is ask, hey, how's your daughter doing in New York? I hope she found a good job because I gave her all that money. I hope she, all that money for college. I hope she finds a good paying job. And then suddenly we had an agreement, okay? My daughter don't owe you anything, okay? Imagine that. What kind of person is that? So I don't know. She's another narcissist. She just look at the end of the day. If you're a narcissist, right? You must understand this is an adult world. You're speaking to an adult. Do not expect that people will tolerate your insult. Do not expect that people will simply, oh, you can insult them, you can hurt their feelings, you can say whatever you want to get away with it. It does not work that way in real world. In real world, people are very busy. The older they are, the more impatient they are. You understand? See, for example, when my stepmother say, hey, your sister has nothing to do with you, okay? Hey, we had an agreement, okay? Your sister don't owe you anything, okay? When she said that, my concern is this. My concern is, so during the family dinner, should I, because I realized, wow, this woman has so many rules, During the family dinner, if I sit at the same table with you, I mean, what should I say to you? I don't dare to talk about your daughter anymore, right? Am I right? It's like she's so strict. She doesn't want people to talk about her daughter. Okay, I don't dare to ask about your daughter anymore. So I'm thinking, can I ask how are you? Can I like we're sitting at the same table and we treat her dinner all the time. She doesn't pay shit. She's a freeloader. She doesn't pay anything. She never bring her purse. I always pay for her dinner. And I'm thinking, okay, if you're sitting at this table, right, and we have to pay for your dinner, so what should I say to you? Can I ask you how are you? Do I have the right to ask you how are you? Or is she gonna do this again? Hey, we had an agreement, okay? I don't owe you anything. Don't ask me how I am. Don't ask me. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is if I see you again, okay, if I see this person again, can I ask about your daughter? Can I ask about you? What should I say? Because she has so many rules, So my relatives, my uncle, my aunt, they all think the same way. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? People ask about your daughter. How's your daughter doing? You don't say thank you. You don't say, oh, thank you for being caring about my daughter. You don't say thank you. You tell people, hey, none of your business, okay? Fuck off. You could imagine. So the whole family decided to just cut ties with her, right? Of course she regrets it, but unfortunately, you said something like that. It's you cannot reverse it. You cannot reverse the damage, So, if you're a narcissist, before you say something, before you do something offensive, you have to think of the consequences. This is not an elementary school. We're not kids anymore. You understand? People have concerns. So next, if you're a narcissist, before you say something, okay, you have to think about other people's concerns. You have to think about other people's situation. Do not say something that you will regret about. All right. But anyway, that's all I want to say for today. Hey, if you have a relative or a friend that's a narcissist, yeah, tell them to watch this video. They will understand.